not last minute at all. So this is us at the airport. Where are we going? We are going to Niagara Falls. Very, very, very random. We basically just picked Allegiant, and because that was our other flight to Asheville, and picked, we looked through the list and we said, where do we want to go? And this was like the only cool place. I've never been, and let me know if you've been, but it was one of those kind of random, like, everybody should go, but like, when would you choose to go, right? Like, I feel like out of every place, I wouldn't be like, oh, I need to go to Niagara Falls. Like, I would obviously probably choose like a different place first, but I was so happy with our choice, and honestly pleasantly surprised. Like, it was very unexpected how much I really enjoyed it, and you guys will see in the clips, but in this video we watched the sunrise. There is me, my partner, and my mom. We were obviously supposed to go to the wedding, so we just switched our flights last minute, and we are heading to Niagara Falls. It's a quick hour-and-a-half flight from Florida, and a super, super easy flight, like direct, and we flew into Buffalo area, Niagara International Airport on the American side. So Niagara Falls is split in between the Canadian side and New York, so the American side. You need to let me know if you have been before, because it was truly, truly amazing, but we will get there, right? So this was an early morning flight. This is a very, very, very long vlog, so bear with me. I'm going to be talking a lot, and give me a like and a sub and a comment, okay? Support my channel. We're almost to 10k. So we flew in, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is the takeoff or the landing. I think this is the takeoff, because we're just speeding up, yep, and then we're about to take off. So I sometimes get really nervous before flights, because I don't know, you start to think about different things. It's called anxiety. So especially because it was an early flight, we woke up super early, and it was pitch black dark, and then we had to drive, and we had to check the bag, and there was actually a lot of people, and sometimes that gives me anxiety, because I'm like, okay, I'm like overstimulated right now, but it was fine. It really wasn't bad. The flight was good, minimal turbulence, and it was a nice sunny day in Florida. And we flew out. We stayed from Thursday to Sunday, so we arrived Thursday early, like 10 in the morning. So we had pretty much all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then all day Saturday. We left Sunday morning. So the interesting thing about Niagara Falls is that you can cross the border, you can walk across, or you can get like a taxi, but you cannot Uber across. So I was kind of trying to figure out like how we were gonna get to the Canadian side, because we really just wanted to go to the Canadian side. We heard that that side was better, so I had to figure out how to get there. And yeah, we were like, we can just get an Uber, but then we found out you cannot Uber, so you cannot just Uber across the border. People won't, they just don't know that, because it's sus, I guess. So I had to like schedule a taxi to pick us up beforehand, and they picked us up, and so this is us in the taxi, just some random ass guy, but we have to cross the border, so he has to get all of our passports, and then we literally crossed the border. So this was the Niagara, New York side. It's a little bit run down, I will say, and it's kind of like, I don't know, not bad, but then we literally crossed the Rainbow Bridge, which is the border, and we got out our passports. See, we have to hand it to him, and then the border patrol checks us, and on the Canadian side, they were just like, why are you visiting? How long are you gonna be here? Da da da. But then on the American side, on the way back, they were like, what did you bring? What did you buy? Who are you visiting? Why are you from Florida? Like, we were asking all these questions. I was like, okay. But here are my fall nails, ready for Niagara Falls. We had to wait a little bit. All these cars were going across. And then we saw beautiful, beautiful Niagara Falls. So this was our room. This was our Marriott hotel room. Falls view. It was amazing. If you ever go, I definitely recommend going to the Canadian side. Look at how clean and landscaped, like truly the Niagara, New York side was not giving was like, oh my gosh, gotta catch my breath. So then we didn't rent a car. That was one thing we were trying to figure out, is should we rent a car? We ended up not renting a car because I'm so glad we didn't, because it would have been so expensive, and we don't want to drive, and we had to pay to park and all that stuff that we don't know. You know, we are technically not in America, so we did not want to do with that. So we ended up taking the bus and Ubers, and it all worked out. We got around, and it was very walkable as well, which I'm not used to in Florida. We don't have any walkable really areas or public transport, so using the bus was interesting, but we figured it out. It's just obviously takes a little bit longer to get where you need to be than just a quick car ride. But the weather was amazing, so walking like wasn't an issue. There was a little elevation, but not like crazy. And yeah, the weather was just so nice, especially coming from Florida. I'm just like, wow, this was a breath of fresh air, literally. And the leaves were starting to turn, so they weren't all like fall colors yet, but definitely better than Florida. And it was just so nice because we were supposed to do a fall trip for the wedding, so this was kind of like our impromptu fall trip, which was so fun. So we ended up just walking around a little bit and, you know, just checking out the falls from a different area. This was the first day, so this is the first time we were seeing the falls, and I was just mesmerized, guys. Not only was the weather perfect, it was cool, it was sunny, plus the breeze from the falls kind of reduced the temperature a little bit. But look at that blue water, and just the massive pressure and power of the falls. Like, the rapids, extremely dangerous, and people do die from being in there. I don't really want to talk about that, but obviously people, you know, do things, and it's not uncommon that a massive waterfall like this would cause pretty bad damage, because it's very rough water, so you definitely do not want to go in, but people do boat around. And the rainbows, oh my gosh, the rainbows, absolutely amazing. I just can't even describe to you how, like, the mist and the sun and the water just create this beautiful ray of the rainbows, and just the atmosphere here. And there was a lot of tourists from everywhere. We heard every single language possible, and it wasn't like outrageously busy, but you know, there were some tourists, so, and of course American tourists. But the good thing is, obviously in Canada everybody speaks English, so we ate at this restaurant. We got poutine, obviously. I liked it, and the restaurant had a view, and then we just walked around. It is very touristy. That is how they survive. Like, not nobody would go, but they have really marketed Niagara Falls like it is a national park, and it's completely a natural waterfall. What am I trying to say? However, Americans and, you know, Canadians really marketed it, and I feel like the city runs and thrives on tourism, because so many people visit. There's gift shops, there's attractions, there's restaurants, you know, there's everything you could think of. And then obviously the natural falls is the main attraction, but we were just kind of walking around, and we had to get a Canadian magnet, of course, and some maple syrup. So we stopped by this maple syrup store, and we actually got to sample a little bit, and then we got this like little maple syrup lollipop, which was just a pure sugar, guys. But it was, you know, it's one of those things you kind of have to get, right? So we made sure to stay hydrated and stay fed, and we constantly, you know, were getting snacks and water and stuff like that. So I will say again, it's very, very clean, very well kept. There was bathrooms everywhere. I will say there was no like water fountain just like gonna walk around, but we just were really enjoying the day after having a long flight. Though we were definitely a little bit tired. Shout out Miss Selfie Stick right there. But we were definitely tired. There were some moments where I kind of like, you know, had a low energy and I just needed like a bite to eat or, you know, some sugar. But that's common when you're walking so much and you're traveling and you have early flights and, you know, but it really wasn't. Oh, I don't know what that video was. Oops. Just admiring the falls, and we took a walk along the entire falls, so it was truly amazing. And see that boat? There is a boat on the American side and also the Canadian side, and it takes you right into the falls, guys. It's kind of scary. I was a little bit nervous, but I conquered my fear and I did do it. You have to. You can't go to Niagara Falls and not do the boat, right? And if you watch The Office, you know that they did that for the engagement. I think they did it for the wedding. Jim and Pam is so cute. But it's just a classic. I mean, look at that. You have to go in and you have to get soaked and you have to wear a poncho. You just have to. And there were some geese flying around and we heard a lot of Canadian accents and we tried Canadian food. And I love Canada. I truly I have Canadian friends and I've never been to Canada. But I'm in love, and I know we went to a very touristy spot, and I would love to go to other areas in Canada because it's just absolutely amazing. And yeah, the only thing I was also a little confused about is everything is so expensive in Canada, but you pay the Canadian price, but then your credit card transfers it to the American price. So I was definitely a little concerned sometimes when I heard the price, and I was like, whoa, like that is so expensive. But then when I looked at my credit card statement, it was the American, it reflected the American currency, so it ended up being a little bit cheaper, so that was good. A little perk. Then I saw these zip liners, guys. Look at these lines that go across. They don't go across the water, but they are zip lining. I have zip lined before and I liked it, but I think I'd be a little bit scared. There's the Canadian flag. I love it. I love the leaf. I love the maple leaf. Let me know, guys, would you do this or not? Because I think you're like sitting, so it's kind of cool and you go really slow, but all these people are watching you. I was watching them and they take your phone too. I saw this YouTuber say that she went on the zip line at Niagara Falls and they took her phone, which was the main reason she wanted to like get content. So, but I don't know. I feel like I would, but I'm a little bit scared. You know, when you're just overthinking, like, oh my god, the adrenaline and your heart's racing and da da da. But there they go. You can see that guy with his arms out. So you're kind of sitting. You're not like holding on and dangling. So that's kind of nice. And it's really not fast. And it's really short. But like, isn't that awesome? I think I would do it, but I don't know. Let me know. We did enough. We did a lot of the adventure stuff. So then we were walking over to do our cruise. So we did the Niagara City cruise. Of course, that is the boat that goes into the falls. So we just walked down. A lot of things, again, with the elevation weren't on the same level. So as you can see, the falls were like down there. So we walked down and they actually were very accessible. Like I was thinking about the ADA stuff, and you know, there was ramps and there were elevators, and you know, you can think about the people in wheelchairs or that need extra assistance, and they have built this really well, and again, clean, accessible. You know, just noticing and observing those little features, which is very nice, you know. So yeah, we walked down, and then obviously this gets you to the main, like the ground level, the falls level, because it is a gorge, so like you're literally in between two mountains, and then that's where the river falls through. So it is called Niagara Lake, I guess, Niagara Falls. So it's Lake Niagara, I don't know, the Niagara Gorge. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that the lake separates America and Canada, and then we kind of share the falls. And then the gorge is just so beautiful. I love gorges. It really reminded me of Oregon. get off. Like, at first it's like, oh, this is so fun, like, la la la, like, oh, it's just a little serene boat ride, and we were like, okay, we're a little scared. It was picking up, the wind was picking up. We were heading, you know, toward the mist, and I was like, okay, we're ready, like, let's get our ponchos on. And you could already see the mist on my glasses. Pro tip, don't wear your glasses. I could not see. Don't wear mascara. I was wiping my eyes, but we're gonna get into that. As you can see, foreshadowing, there's already water on my phone. There's that little birdie flying away. But again, beautiful sunny day, beautiful boat ride, right? We're just taking a little boat ride. So beautiful in between the gorge, but dun dun dun, you can see the water and the mist already starting to come at us, and it felt like rain, guys. It was not mist, it was rain, and I was trying to get as much footage as possible, but guys, look at how look at how rough and rocky that is. Like, that's pretty scary. So you can see some other people getting really rocked, which, so of course it's fun, but you're like, okay, turn the boat around. I'm cold, I'm wet, but like, look at that water, and you can't really see. Like, my glasses were just, you know, full of water, rubbing my mascara everywhere. So it was fun. You know, it was like Florida rain, but I would recommend it. I would do it again. So then after that, you get all warm and fuzzy in the gift shop. Of course, after you leave an attraction, you go to the gift shop, and there's food, and there's magnets, and there's cups, and yeah, again, overpriced, but you have to get something. So we got some maple syrup again, and we got a shirt and a magnet. We do magnets for every place that we travel. So, but yeah, just freaking tourist attractions and gift shops after everything. But we can kind of just look and see what they have. And you know, I had to take a picture of any fall tree because it was so cute. And then after that, we went back to the room and got ready for dinner. I packed really lightly again because it was like very last minute. I just threw a bunch of shit in a backpack. Literally, I didn't even bring a carry-on or a checked bag. I just brought one backpack. So I had to pack really light, so the outfits like aren't great. I also didn't know. I thought it was gonna be way colder than it was, and it ended up being not that cold. Like, it was nice and breezy, but it was by no means like scarf and, you know, mittens. What was I trying to say? But yeah, another dinner with a view. The dinner was alright. And then this was our view from the hotel. There was like a little hot tub and spa, and then this was the falls at night on the first night. Honestly, I didn't film much from the first night because a girl was tired. Like, after a 4 a.m. flight and, you know, the boat and walking and figuring out the taxis, you know, just, I was ready to go to bed. I'm pretty sure I went to bed at like 10. So every single night up until a certain time, Niagara Falls does the light show and fireworks. So this night I did not stay up. This was a video that my mom actually took. So every night they do fireworks, which I think is awesome. But I was literally asleep. So they do it at 10 o'clock every night, which is pretty late, to be honest. And we knew we were gonna try to watch it another night, but my mom stayed up this night and took some footage, which I really appreciated. She helped me a lot because I was just so tired. I was like, honestly, I can see it tomorrow. And then I slept so good. But we also wanted to get up for the sunrise, so that's why I was so tired. It's because we were waking up early, and then we were staying up late. And I know it's not too late, but when you wake up early and then you're walking 20,000 steps a day, you're exhausted. So I went to bed, and then this is the next morning. We watched the beautiful sunrise over the falls, and that's why the room was honestly so worth it, is because we got to see the falls and we didn't have to go outside. relaxation, I guess is what you call it, from the falls. So watching the sunset and sunrise, definitely worth the room view, and it was so beautiful. I stayed in bed. My partner went and got Tim Hortons, which is the Canadian Starbucks, and they also speak French in Canada. So a lot of things were also in French, which I thought was cool. And the Tim Hortons was so good. Like, everything was made super fresh, and you could get so much for your money. Like, it was not that it was cheap, but it was way cheaper than Starbucks. One of the mornings we got Starbucks, guys, we almost spent like $50, and it was like 70 Canadian dollars. So we were like, how did we just do that? But at Tim Hortons it was like $20 for the same amount of things, and Tim Hortons is just better. And of course you gotta support the Canadian coffee, right? Let me know if you've ever had Tim Hortons. Let me know if you're from Canada. I don't know. I know a lot of people from Canada. And then we just passed by this little bridge. I guess this is something that they do here. They put lockets on the bridge, which I think is super cute. And just we were kind of reading through. Some of them had names and like a girl's trip, marriage, anniversary. They do say Niagara Falls is a big honeymoon spot as well as like anniversary spot. A lot of people said that. So it was very much like a love romance, you know. But then we took this little like rail car down. So this is what I mean about the elevation. Like, it's walkable, but it's like kind of weird. So they invented these things that are like an outside elevator. And this is what it was. That's where a hotel is. And then this is the falls. So it's like it was like 1 minute like a 1 minute ride. So it just took us all the way down. So there's so much to do in Niagara Falls. They really set it up well. They have this kind of like park pass where you can get like a package deal, and that's what we did. We did not want to do like a 7-hour tour and look at that mist and rainbow even just next to the falls. It's so powerful, and you can just see how wet it is outside, but it's sunny. That's why there's a rainbow, right? So the package, it is not like a 6-hour tour where you're on a bus with a group. Like, I did not want to do that. That is an option, but I did not want to do that. So we chose this pass that you get like 6 to 7 attractions, and you can space it out however you like on your own time. So this was the journey behind the falls. So we had to go down this elevator, and then we went through this tunnel. I was a little nervous, guys. That tunnel was a little small for me, but this got you behind the falls, which I thought was really cool. And back to the tour, it was really cool because again, you got access to all these attractions for a discounted price with the bus pass and the incline pass, and just, you know, at your own pace. So it's like you could spend X amount of time here. There was no tour guide, so I really liked that. They gave us a poncho for this because, as you can see, the mist is falling. But yeah, that tunnel was a little scary, but it was fine. So then we went down this little thing, and you can literally kind of go behind the falls. And that's why I say, like, they built this really cool, because they were able to build this, you know, right here, so that people were able to go down and see it in a safe way and not hike down. But guys, look at that. This was behind the falls, so I really liked that, and it was cool. We got soaked again though, so day 2 we were soaked, day 1 we were soaked, and then I think we were done with the wet attractions after that. But again, another beautiful day. There is our hotel, so see how it's like close by, but it's like not that close. But we were figuring it out, you know. We were finding our way around, taking the bus, you know, walking. And honestly, just my favorite part was the nature, because I just love some green grass and like some trees, and seeing the fall leaves turn and the flowers and the landscaping. Like, truly they put a lot of effort and care into the maintenance, and it shows. Like, we went into this like floral place. We didn't go like all the way in because we decided to choose like a different package, but that's okay because we were able to still see this and just see like these really cool. This is a Monstera variegation, which is just amazing. amazing. Look at the size of my hand compared to that leaf. And you know, I love plants, so my partner was like, hey, there's some turtles over here. So we were just kind of looking. You can see there's like some snapping turtles and then some regular turtles. But yeah, I enjoyed just looking at the nature and everything, and kind of taking a slow walk and looking at different things that Florida doesn't have. And you guessed it, another gift shop. So this was very like botanical, which I love that vibe. A lot of bees and, you know, floral botanical plants and stuff, which is right up my alley. Some mushroom sweater, which was super cute. And just another snail sweater. The sweaters are so cute. But yeah, just like looking through, I didn't buy too much stuff because I was packing light. I did not have any room in my bag. So this was really, really pretty. But yeah, this was like a floral house, but we chose something else. So this was just like the little area. We did not go inside. But again, here with the turtles, and look at that one sitting on top of the other turtle. That's so cute. But then we walked around outside, and the trees were so nice. The flowers, just another beautiful blue day. And we really lucked out with the weather. You can see the mist from the falls literally over there. And sometimes it gets so misty that you can't even see the falls. So it was really, we just lucked out. Like, we were able to see the falls every day. And, you know, just experience the beautiful Niagara. Like, truly, truly, that's why I said it was far better than my expectations. Like, I feel like people, I don't know, like, of course, people rave about it, but then I feel like some people, I don't even know what those are. Those are super cute, though. I think they're birdhouses. I was looking online, like, things to do, and people were like, okay, when you see Niagara Falls, you're like, okay, let's go. Like, I saw it once, I don't need to go back. I don't know if I would choose to go back, because again, like I said, I wouldn't, like, choose it number one, but truly, truly, I recommend it to anybody, even if you want, like, a fall, you know, getaway. I think that would be a really good time to go, because the leaves and everything, but truly, 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 it was not overhyped. It was not underwhelming. Like, it was amazing. So if you think, okay, it's just something that you need to see, you know, don't, you know, undermine it. Obviously people have their preferences of what they want, where to go, but again, this time it wasn't like too cold, especially with the sun out. I wore a little bit of a lighter flannel this day, which I didn't really plan on wearing because I honestly thought it was going to be colder, but we saw really cool trees, and we saw some black squirrels, which I've never seen before. So we were just kind of taking a walk. Again, we got so many steps, and you know what I had to do? I had to lay down in the grass, guys. I am like a hippie at heart, so I was like, let me get some earthing. I need to ground myself. And here was a black squirrel. Isn't it so cute? I've never seen a black squirrel before. So it literally scurried up the tree so quick, and then I think I saw it one more time. I was like, where did it go? And then it was up there eating an acorn. So just, I don't know, the change of scenery was really cool, especially because we were supposed to go to North Carolina, and then after just hearing about the devastation, and obviously you can't go to a place after a hurricane. I'm from Florida, so I completely understand, but after hearing the devastation in Asheville, and you know, North Carolina, we obviously weren't gonna go and travel for the wedding, but we wanted a fall vacation, so I think Niagara was the perfect, you know, getaway for us. So we just were walking a little bit, and then we were trying to get into this power station, and we got a little bit lost, but that's because we were trying to figure it out, you know, and it says just Niagara Parks Power Station, and this is a little bit more of like the history side of things. So we were learning a little bit about how they used to do like the power, the electrical stuff. I honestly didn't really read this stuff or pay attention. This was another tunnel. Guys, if you're claustrophobic, don't do these tunnels, because the other one was a little tighter. This one was bigger, but it was underground. It was all brick, like a mile maybe, and they didn't really tell you, so we were walking, and it was a really, really long walk, and you're in the tunnel the whole time, which I didn't really like. I was a little bit nervous, but just because sometimes I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen if something happens, you know, when your mind gets like that. But we were safe and everything's okay, but that is the tunnel, so it's a little bit scary. But then you come out again and you're just like at the falls, so I didn't record that much, but you get the gist. And then we went back to the hotel to get dressed, and it was getting a little bit cooler this night and kind of rainy, but like kind of just misty, I guess. And we decided to take a walk and then find some place for dinner, and we found this little like cute area that was next to our hotel that had like a casino and Tim Hortons and you know, just like a bunch of food options. So we were trying to find, you know, some good food, and we ended up eating at this restaurant. Not this restaurant, we just passed by Tim Hortons, and I thought I would show you a little bit what it looks like, but we did not eat here. So this was a hotel, but this was not the Marriott. But yeah, just showing you a little bit what Tim Hortons looks like. And then this was like the main end area. Very, very cool. Definitely a cool hotel to stay in as well. But we decided to just eat at this random restaurant, and it was really good. I would say the food wasn't like amazing the entire time, but that's just because like we had to find like, you know, restaurants, and it was again a very touristy area, so it's not like the food is why you go to Niagara Falls, right? So it wasn't anything to rave about, but you know, girls gotta eat, so I really like this outfit. And because it was a little bit chillier, I wore that little puffer and a fall sweater, and then we walked a little bit, and we're trying to find this other area we wanted to get to and see it in the evening. So we took a bus and wanted to see the fireworks show, so that was our plan for tonight. And the most randomest thing is we saw this guy riding his bike, and it was just decked out in a bunch of neon lights, so I thought that was cool, and we saw him a couple times. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's taking people on the bike or just like trying to get tips or what. But there are the falls night 2, so this was Friday. We did all that. We kind of like split our pass into multiple different things so that we weren't overdoing it, but we wanted to see as much as we could. So this is called Clifton Hill, and of course we had to check out the Canadian dispensary, and they checked our passports and our IDs. So this is Clifton Hill. So if you look this up on TikTok, I feel like this is what people say, like, oh, Niagara Falls is Las Vegas, or it's like touristy and it's trashy, because this area is very much flashy. Like, it reminded me of Orlando, but like times 1,000, which I did not like because it was very flashy, it was very busy, it was very much like museums and like, you know, grabbing, I don't even know, a carnival basically. There was even a Ferris wheel. Ripley's Believe It or Not, weird ass museums. Just we wanted to see it at night because it looks cool, and it's definitely something I can see like high schoolers going to, and it's like a kind of state fair vibe. But personally, this is my living hell. Like, it was just so loud, it was flashing lights. I did not like it. And yeah, people on TikTok will be like, ew, I came to Niagara Falls and this is what I saw. But like, we did not stay over here. So if your hotel is over here, I think you would have a very different experience. And then we went into the Fudge Factory, so that was kind of like a famous landmark. But we stayed at such a nice bougie hotel, and it was not cheap, just so you know. But my mom obviously was with us, and she helped out, and this was her experience too. At 55, she wanted to see Niagara Falls, and she's never been, so I think it was really cool that we got to experience it together. And I'm just rambling about so many different things, but back to Clifton Hill, the theme park, essentially. If you stay here, I definitely think you'd have a different experience, because people were like, ew, like, this is so flashy, I don't like it, and I don't like Las Vegas. But so personally, this was not it for me. It might be your vibe, but I did not like it. I also am, you know, from Florida. I know what Orlando looks like. I don't like all the flashiness. It's fun sometimes. I think it's fun for kids. I think some people would like it. If you're not from an area like this, it's definitely cool to see. But one night, and we were done here, I was like, I there's all this fudge and stuff. Ice cream, cotton candy, like anything you could think of. A wax museum, you know, just like crazy stuff. But I did not want to do that, so we just were looking and we got Dippin' Dots, which I actually love Dippin' Dots. Like, I low-key love Dippin' Dots. But the main reason is we just wanted to see that at night, and then we wanted to see the falls and the fireworks show. So if you go to Niagara Falls, I definitely recommend like checking that out. And I liked it, but again, I am more of a nature person, so I don't like to see like buildings and city and like, you know, feel like it's overwhelming. I like to be laying down in the grass, putting my feet in the grass, listening to the trees, looking at squirrels, looking at the falls. Like, I wanted to have like the full Canadian nature experience. I did not want to be in a flashy tourist, you know, trap, basically. So we were waiting for the fireworks show, so we kind of just enjoyed our ice cream and enjoyed the falls, which it was giving gay. I love the rainbow falls. Like, every night they changed the color. Like, one night it was American colors, one night they did like Indian, like heritage colors. Our Marriott like employee told us that they did Jewish like colors. Like, they celebrate like all different types of colors, so I thought that was cool. And then they also just like randomly will change the colors. So but yeah, we were getting ready for the fireworks and we just had to wait a little bit. But I mean, we were outside, so we wanted to watch them, and then they started going and it was just so magical. And it runs only till 10:05, like literally 5 minutes. But we were just watching the fireworks, and I just like love watching fireworks. It's giving Disney. It reminds me of Disney. And yeah, just spectacular, and I think it's really fun. And I feel like Niagara Parks do such a good job at their tourism, and you know, they know what the people want and they provide it. So there is not a lack of things to do when you are going. So again, let me know if you've ever been, your experience, if you want to go. I hope that like I had some tips for you as well, because there are some tips and tricks, especially when you plan last minute. Because guys, if I would have planned beforehand, I would have had everything mapped out and I would have known. But when I tell you I planned it within 3 days of before leaving, I am never, like, I'm type A up my ass. I'm type A, and yeah, I never take a trip that's like quick. But honestly, for how fast we planned it, I feel like we did everything right, everything logically. That's the type of person I am. I want to make sure that I'm not like, oh man, I missed this coupon, or oh, I missed this. We rented this car and we shouldn't have. Like, everything just worked out. Okay, so done rambling. We got back to the hotel. We went to sleep, obviously. And then this is Saturday, so we had a big day ahead of us. Another beautiful sunny blue day. And we actually took an Uber this time because we were going a little more north, so we were going away from the main falls. We spent 2 full days at the main falls, and then we decided to go up north, a little more Canadian area, and this is called the Whirlpool aero car. So that little red thing is connected by these cables, and it's a little, like, I don't even know what suspension car, kind of like ziplining, except you're inside the cart, if that makes sense. So this is the gorge and the rapids. The Whitewater Rapids takes you all the way down the river, and it's so blue and so beautiful. I honestly think that this was my favorite, and I think it was the best day. It was 65 degrees, it was cold, it was beautiful sun, blue rapids. Like, look at that. It is just amazing, and just so amazing. Like, I just don't know what else to say, because I just loved the trip. It was everything. It was so much fun. It was such a unique experience. It was something I'll never experience again. Like, I literally was like, this is a once in a lifetime experience, and like, it was just so fun and unexpected. So we were getting on this little vehicle, which it just takes you like to and fro. So it just takes you across the river, but you get like 360 views, which is really cool. But if you're afraid of heights, definitely watch out what you do, because a lot of stuff is either in the air, like they have a tower, kind of like the Space Needle in Seattle. They have that here as well. You can get 360 basically what we just saw from above, except we were able to walk alongside it. So on the American side, there are some trails, but there's no like access, I guess, or it's like at your own risk. It can be dangerous. But the Canadian side had built this boardwalk, so we're able to walk down the rapids. So again, very accessible, and a lot of viewpoints. But guys, just look at those rapids, like truly, truly, truly blown away. And I posted a lot on my Instagram and my TikTok and my Pinterest, so you can find all those links below. Go follow me on TikTok, and follow my Insta too, because I'm trying to blow up on there as well. So, and share, guys. I'm trying to get to 10K, trying to blow up my socials, but yeah, I'm not gonna overly promote myself, but definitely follow my other stuff for behind the scenes photos and more videos and everything that's non-ASMR. So back to the trip, guys. Look at that. Obviously, again, very dangerous. People have died in these falls and rapids because of how fast and moving they are. It's very cold water. You probably could not survive the swim because, you know, you'd either hit a rock or you would drown, because it's very, very scary and not swimmable. I guess maybe if you were in like a raft, like whitewater rafting, but I don't see anybody doing that ever. So I don't even know if it's allowed, truly. Let me know if you know. But there are some like extra points where you can walk down and be closer. A lot of people taking pictures. A lot of people offered to take our pictures as well, which was very, very nice. And my partner and I were like doing everything, and my mom was with us as well, but she's a little older, so she was slowing down a little bit, like not walking as much as us, which was fine. We just kind of accommodated her as well, or we went out and did our own thing, and if she wanted to stay back, you know, especially with the stairs and stuff. But she did walk pretty much everywhere with us. So yeah, just showing you the amazing rapids and just the beautiful, the white foam, and the blue water. Just truly, truly, truly amazing. And it was just such a nice day. This day, I loved this day. The Saturday was my favorite. This day should have been the wedding. So it's just, you know, it made me think a lot of like, oh, we would have been at the wedding right now, but now we're here. So we're trying to make the best out of a bad situation. And we did. And the wedding happened. So my best friend is supposed to get married. Little side ramble here. But she wanted the fall wedding, of course. Everything had been planned for so long. They ended up eloping, so that's good. At least they got married. But now the wedding is moved way back into next year because they had to reschedule all the vendors, the venue, and of course just the damage of the hurricane. You know, and not everything's ready yet. So it will happen. The show will go on, but that's why we were like, hey, we're not gonna sit at home and wallow. Let's go do something. So this is what we did, and I'm really happy with our decision. And you know, I'm glad we were spontaneous. Like, I'm never this spontaneous in my whole entire life, and I think it just shows you like you can turn any situation around, and you can do anything you want. Like, if you want to book a flight and go for 24 hours somewhere, like you can no one's stopping you, obviously except money. But I think that just being spontaneous was super fun, and kind of like, you know, shows me how much I'm capable of. Look at that bee on that daisy, guys. That's so precious. But we were heading to the botanical gardens, and let's see, where were we at? The butterfly conservatory. So this was a part of our package as well. We got to see more beautiful landscape gardens as well as the butterflies, and I was truly blown away again by this butterfly conservatory. Like, seriously, I feel like everything we did just one-upped the next. Like, everything was amazing. Truly, truly great experience. Never seen so many butterflies in my entire life, and I have been to a butterfly museum before. This one was just unreal. Not only were the plants, it was in a huge greenhouse, so there was tons of tropical plants, obviously not native to Canada, but you know, I'm used to them in Florida. But it was a little warm in there, obviously, to keep that warm temperature of the tropical plants. But guys, butterflies flying everywhere. It was almost like a little too much, but they just look like little fairies everywhere. And they said dogs are little. So obviously they are so beautiful, so beautiful. One climbed on my leg, I didn't even see it, and a stranger was like, there's one on your leg, and I was like, oh my god, and it was like literally climbing up, like it was trying to like, I don't know, it was trying to do something. But look at that beautiful blue inner, and then the outside is a camouflage to protect it from other creatures, and we were trying to catch them, but they would not come on us, like on purpose, like they would come on us accidentally. But look at that beautiful tropics, like it was just truly amazing. There's a little water fountain, but yeah, truly amazing. The plants, the botanicals, the butterflies, like it was just so pretty. And then those were a bunch of butterflies. See how they're camouflaged? They kind of look like an owl. That way predators don't mess with them. And they were having a little snack of oranges, and I saw some random guy had one on his glasses, so I took a little video. But you can see in this little incubator thing that they were showing the caterpillars, not centipedes, in their cocoons coming out and turning into a butterfly. So that is amazing. And then yeah, just looking again, beautiful weather. Look at all the butterflies and everything. So it was just absolutely gorgeous. So we were walking around the botanical gardens, and it's just so nice with all the trees and the grass. It's just different than Florida, obviously. And there was a rose garden, and there was like this little, it was reminding me of like Alice in Wonderland, because it was like, and Bridgerton, because it was this maze kind of, and this garden, it was so beautiful and serene, not a cloud in the sky. So yeah, it was reminding me of Oregon a lot, because there's a bunch of nature there, and there's nature in Florida, but not like this, you know, it's completely different. So just really enjoying it. There's a wild butterfly, but yeah, just really amazing. The landscape, again, very clean, minimal homelessness, you know, so that is a perk. Sometimes cities, I've been to some cities that struggle with that, and it's just, you know, really sad. And so when you travel and you don't see it, it's like noticeable, you know. But yeah, I had a really good time this day. So this day we were doing a lot of like outdoorsy stuff, but yeah, I just really enjoyed doing everything that we did. Again, no rush, there was no time constrictions, no groups, no guides, like it was really just at your own pace. So I would really recommend doing that. We saw these weird things on the floor. Do you know what these are? I thought they were acorns, but I don't really know what they were. Guys, look at that tree, like I love these trees. And then this was the main rose garden, so you can see a bunch of rose bushes. We saw some weddings here, we saw some brides taking pictures, we saw quinceañera pictures, so definitely a popular park to get some photos done. And then we were like, oh, that would have been our bride. But everything happens for a reason. Even though the hurricanes were absolutely devastating, we literally had two back to back. But look at this beautiful rose bush, the yellows, the reds, and I believe these were mums, but they were just arranged so beautifully. And you know I love gardening, Day, the pumpkins, and just Niagara on the Lake. Then we got to go see the lake, which was cool. So obviously we walked down, we saw a little town, which was super cute, a lot of local businesses, and then we went to the lake, which this lake is actually, it's not part of the river. I don't believe it might connect. Okay, it probably connects, but I'm not like that good at, but that's Toronto. Let's stick to what I do know. I know that is Toronto, so Toronto does share this lake, and this is Lake Ontario, so I know, like, I think it connects obviously to Niagara, but I'm not really sure the ecosystem. Okay, don't quote me, but this is Lake Ontario. And then because, like, I think Ontario is where we were staying, which is also like next to Niagara. I don't know. I'm not good at geology. Oh my god, geology. Not me looking at rocks when I said that. Geography. Oh my gosh. So as you can tell, this is a very long video, very long voiceover, and I'm starting to jumble my words. However, this was really, really nice to see a lake and like a little gazebo and the rocks and the beach. Like, this is literally their beach, and so I thought it was funny because, especially coming from Florida, I'm like, I know what a beach is, honey, and this was really nice. Like, obviously this is like a lake, so people were boating, and I'm sure people swim in it, but this is not a beach, honey. But I'm spoiled. But it was very, very nice, I will say. Like, just the blue skies and the gazebo, it was not packed, and this was a Saturday. And the water was cold. I had to touch the water, of course, and the rocks were just really pretty. But yeah, I had a really, really good time. It was definitely a good thing to do. And I feel like 3 days was just the right amount of time because we got to see everything. But we didn't feel like we had to rush. But I feel like an extra day, we might have felt like, okay, what else is there to do? Like, I definitely was sad leaving, but I was like, we saw everything, we did everything, it's time to get back to reality, you know? And that's just when the flights were. It was Thursday to Sunday, so it was definitely enough time, but I just really, really enjoyed the fall scenery, the weather, a change in environment, coming from hot Florida, especially with hurricane season. Obviously, that was not good. So this just was the Uber back. We took a shuttle there and an Uber back because we didn't want to have to get on like 3 different buses, and there was the winery, so it really just looks like a different town, and the houses were so nice. And this is just a little bit of a glare, so if you don't like that, you can fast forward. But there's a willow tree, and the houses were really cool, and this is just kind of like the drive back to Niagara Falls. So again, very like home style, country kind of, you know, Maine vibes, East Coast vibes, you know, coastal. But I really, really liked the vibes, and also like Uber was really accessible. So that was nice. And you know, things were expensive, but I feel like when it transferred over to the American dollars, it wasn't as bad. So, you know, on vacation you're gonna spend money, but we really tried to like save where we could and experience everything. And again, it's like a once in a lifetime experience, and I really recommend going. But just look at this, like the trees, and I would have liked it to be a little more orange, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. We did not plan on this at all, so this was again a last minute trip. And I really hope that you're enjoying the video so far. If you've made it this far, drop a Canadian leaf in the comments, that little maple emoji. But then we went back to the room to this glorious rainbow, like literally so big. It's a half rainbow, but it's a double rainbow. So yeah, again, just like seeing the view out of our window, oh my god, it's just amazing. And then I think this was a little bit later, we were gonna go out to dinner again and just kind of have a chill evening. So we took a little walk. At this point, girl, I had no clothes. Like, I was wearing like my pajamas because either my clothes were wet from the falls, or I already wore all my outfits. And of course in the evening it's a little chillier, so I thought this looked really cool at night. It was all lit up, and then of course the falls were lit up again, so it was really cool. Like, we watched the sunrise, we watched the sunset, we watched the falls. This clip was not supposed to be here right now. This was from Niagara on the Lake, so a little bit of a misplaced clip there, but just to kind of show you that Niagara on the Lake was like a very small town vibes. honestly, every time I saw it, it was like the first time. Like, and even if I went back this weekend, I would probably still be in awe because it's just like you want to look